Hello and welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. It's my Eurovision 2024 Top 37 countdown. It's place number 10, Slovenia, Raiven, Veronika. Please do click the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, like, share and comment below. Link to the music videos in the description, as is a link to my blog post. So we finally reach my top 10 and we kick off with the second of the trio of ex-Yugoslav countries in the contest this year, all three of which have got high placings in my countdown. Now Slovenia doesn't have a long history of success in the contest, I'm afraid. So indeed in the last 20 years they've only qualified on 7 occasions and their best result in that time was a 13th place back in 2011. You've got to go even further back to see their best results, which was a 7th place that they got in 1995 and also 2001. Hopes were high for Joker Out last year, and while they did qualify, the final result was perhaps a little disappointing. So can Raiven pull Slovenia higher up that table? Now, Raiven is the stage name of Sarah Brisky-Searman, and she's been involved with music since she was a very little girl, since she was about 4 years old. She studied music all the way through school into further education and then also at master's level. Through that, she studied music, singing, playing the harp. She was a harpist, and opera most recently. She entered the Slovenian national final for Eurovision on 3 occasions in 2016, 2017 and 2019, and she finished 2nd, 3rd and 2nd respectively, so she almost got there all 3 times, but just not quite. And then in 2019 she moved more towards her opera career, and she's appeared in quite a number of concerts and also theatre opera productions as well. However, in 2024, she is back. She's making a return to the Eurovision goal, and this time she's been internally selected. I think the idea was that they were going to have a final, but a bit like last year when they were going to have a final, then they just found Joker, when they heard Joker's Out entry, they just decided to go with internal selection. That's what's happened again this year, I think, and Raiven will be singing her song, Veronika. Now, Veronika is what I probably describe as dark pop. It's got elements of electro pop as well, and also electro opera, although that opera part comes more towards the culmination of the song. Raiven is one of several co-writers of the song, and she's also a co-producer. And one of the other co-writers happens to be Bojan, who is the lead singer of Joker Out. Now, it's been described as a witchy song, or witchy pop, like Ireland. But this isn't a song that is about, well, an alleged witch, not musically witchy, whatever that means. The personality in question, the alleged witch in question, is actually a historical figure, Veronika of Desenice, who was the wife of a count-to-be, a future count in the 13th century Slovenia. But the count-to-be's father, the actual count, disapproved of Veronika as she was of lower social status than his son, and he conspired to have her tried for witchcraft. That didn't work though, because she was acquitted by the court, so instead he had her jailed and then murdered. So this is a tragic love story, and so the story of her and her husband and her tragic death has been inspirations for numerous literary creations, and now we'll get a moment on the Eurovision stage. This is a really high quality, dramatic, dark art pop number, and it was one of the earliest songs this year, released this year. We've been able to see Raiven perform both at other countries' national finals. She performed, I think, in the Croatian national semi-final, and she's been at a number of the pre-parties as well, and her vocals, as you might expect for someone who has been working in operatic productions, her live vocal is very, very good. And I find when that operatic voice that comes into play towards the end of the song, I think it sounds spellbinding, especially when you hear it live. The fandom seem to like this song in the sense that if one looks at the Eurovision app, this has been in the top 15 and has kind of remained there, I think, throughout the season. And again, it's confirmed if you look at just the semi-final option, doing well there as well. And based on that, you'd think that this would be a reasonably safe qualifier. However, I we need to be prepared for the fact that this could be a non-qualifier. It may be popular in the app, however, it's not been doing so well into the AGA fan polls. It's the annual fan poll that's done, or Euro jury, which is more an attempt to replicate what a jury might be, because it goes out to various musical figures or people have been involved with Eurovision before and acting like a jury as opposed to a fan poll. And in the betting odds at the moment, and of course these do change quite a bit, it's not looking like a qualifier at the moment if you look at those. And I think that would be a huge shame given what I think is how high quality it is. But I think, as I've mentioned before in some of other reviews or previews that I've done of this year's songs, betting odds pre-rehearsal for semi-final should be taken with a bit of a pinch of salt, particularly when there's a lot of closeness in them. I think there is a potential here to have some real impact with staging and the live performance. And Raiven can also, at least you can count on some televote support coming from Croatia and Serbia, who are obviously both in the semi-final. And then when there are a lot of songs in contention that are, chasing after those one or two spots to qualify, that could make all the difference. So what do you think of the song, and also what do you think of the qualifying chances? Please do, of course, let me know in the comments, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.